Welcome to the informational video for the State Tutoring Program coordinators and/or administrators. In this video, we will provide general information, tutorials, and requirements.
So this is our state tutoring team. If you need help, please feel free to reach out to any of the four ladies that you see here on the screen. So we have Ebony McKitty, she's our state tutoring coordinator. If you are a school and you are going to be tutoring your own students, your points of contact are Lauren Spensley, who's a program specialist, or Laurel Cherry, who's also a program specialist, as well as Alexandra Ruiz. She is going to be your point of contact if you are a vendor providing services to different schools and districts.
Eligibility for state tutoring is determined by your school letter grade. Schools that receive a letter grade of a D or an F are eligible to offer the state tutoring program. Please see the website for the eligible schools list. The state tutoring program is an individualized, supplemental, standards-based instruction program. The outcome of tutoring is student academic progress encompassing measures of both proficiency and academic gains as stated in ASRS 15-241. Implementation of topics and requirements presented in this PowerPoint are mandatory for an LEA to receive payment from ADE. Some key program points. General tutoring is not allowed for this grant. As such, tutoring is centered around specific Arizona academic standards. Tutoring is not meant to be a homework club or a drop-in program, and tutoring is not one-to-one. Tutoring should be individually focused on no more than 5 students per group, but no less than 3 students. Tutoring should be in a small group setting where students are engaging with each other and the tutor. The coordinator's role is the organization, the implementation, support, and execution of the tutoring program in accordance with the grant requirement. A coordinator may only be used if there are 5 or more tutors at one school site. The coordinator may also be a tutor, but they must be the 6th tutor at the site. And please note that the gross rate for each coordinator is $800 per semester paid out in December and again in May. The coordinator oversees the following: coordinate eligibility of all tutors and tutoring participants, assist in the completion and the maintenance of certificates of supplemental instruction, verify the accuracy of sign-in sheets and hours in ADE Connect, assist tutors with online access for logging those hours, assist tutors with resources and measures of student progress, and of course maintain all tutoring materials for the program. Documents to keep. Coordinators will upload documents to the Educational Monitoring Assistance and Compliance application known as EMAC. These forms may be reviewed during ADE monitoring of the state tutoring program. Tutor verification forms, the state tutoring checklist for each of your tutors, your coordinator checklist, certificates of supplemental instruction for each student being tutored, and sign-in sheets signed and/or initialed by those students attending.
Tutoring dates and times will be dependent upon the following characteristics. The number of sessions should be predetermined prior to tutoring beginning. Tutoring can be no more than 20 weeks. Tutoring can be before school or after school. It will not happen on school holidays or breaks or on grade level state assessment days. Students can receive a maximum of 4 hours of tutoring within a given week, and they cannot receive more than 92 hours of tutoring within the school year. On the CSI, please complete this section to clearly communicate tutoring dates and times to parents and guardians.
So one of the important documents that will need to be submitted for each tutor is the tutor verification form. So this form requires teachers and providers. So if it is the teacher that is in the classroom or if you're a provider through a vendor, you must have documentation that provides evidence that you are qualified in that specific content area that you will be tutoring. All tutors must complete this form and provide documentation. This documentation, which could be in the form of transcripts, certificates, credentials, whatever that may be, needs to be provided and kept on hand with the site administrator and be available should that documentation need to be provided. If a paraprofessional does not meet that criteria, you may submit documentation with justification as to why you would need that paraprofessional to provide services, and that can be provided to the ADE State Tutoring team for review. The principal or vendor administrator must sign the tutor verification form indicating that that tutor is eligible to provide services. So this slide is just a visual of what that tutor verification form looks like. Please look through this form carefully, identifying what category best identifies you. Are you working with K-6 students, or are you working with middle and high school students, which are grades 7 through 12? Make sure that you check off each area that makes you a highly qualified tutor. So please review the eligibility requirements as stated on this form.
Certificates of Supplemental Instruction, otherwise known as CSIs, must include the following information: student information, the SSID number, date of birth, and relevant eligibility checkboxes must be recorded on the document. Arizona academic standards. Areas to be tutored must be relatable to what the student's needs are in the areas of math and/or reading and writing. Specific state standards must be listed. To improve reading is not acceptable. Signatures and contact information. Tutor sign and date. Parent sign and date and provide contact information, and principals to sign if tutoring is during teacher prep time. With each new CSI, a principal, CEO, administrator signs the previous CSI for an attestation of improvement. The tutor is responsible for filling out all portions of the CSI and obtaining other involved parties' signatures. Completed certificate should be kept at the site of tutoring. Vendors may keep it with their respective business office. The certificate is used to initiate an agreement of tutoring between the tutor and student and parent guardian. Before any tutoring is to take place, it should be filled out completely.
One important aspect of each tutoring session is the sign-in sheet. So anytime you are working with a student, it is imperative that you have them sign in. This helps us track the student, their grade level, which content area they are getting support in. And this also needs to be in direct alignment with the hours that are logged by the tutor. So without this verification, we have no way to track which students are receiving services and if that's truly in line with the tutor hours. So it is important that this is turned in every single week to your site administrator or your coordinator. This slide is a snapshot of all the important documents that need to be kept and maintained within our EMAC system. That's the Educational Monitoring, Assistance, and Compliance application. So making sure that you have the tutor verification forms completed and that indeed all tutors are eligible and meet the requirements to be providing services for students. The state tutor checklist, please look through that list with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that each item and each requirement has been met, as well as the coordinator checklist. This is a separate list than the state tutor checklist, and it is also very important that you make sure you track every item on there being completed. And then each student will be required to have a CSI, which is the Certificates of Supplemental Instruction. This is important and must also be uploaded to EMAC, as well as those sign-in sheets. So tutors, once you have submitted them to your site administrator, they will be uploading those into EMAC, so it is important that those are submitted every single week.
In order for tutoring to be implemented, please verify that you have attended and/or viewed this presentation by completing the Microsoft form found on the Coordinators tab under Other Important Documentation. This step is required. Please note the date this form was completed on your coordinator checklist. All relevant documentation and information can be found at the following website, the ADE State Tutoring website found at azed.gov/state-tutoring. Please feel free to email the State Tutor inbox if you have any additional questions, or reach out to myself or any of our team members introduced earlier in this video. ADE Connect is a system in which all student information and tutor information, including hours, will be entered. Please make sure that you have a valid fingerprint clearance card number to log in as a tutor and/or coordinator. Please work with your district to make sure tutors and coordinators have access to ADE Connect.